Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, if you are wondering if NVIDIA has reached its peak, is this a time to buy or is this a time to sell a covered call or something like that? Well, this video is for you because I'm talking about my thoughts in this regard, because I hold a lot of NVIDIA shares as well. I have been bullish on NVIDIA, and today I'm going to talk to you about a new development with NVIDIA that you should know about. And I would like to get your feedback at the end because your comments are always enlightening to me as a retail investor. And you know, our channel is a bit different because I don't claim to know everything. I'm upfront with you that I'm a retail investor just sharing my thoughts. And my idea is to build a retail investor community where we can share intelligence and do our best in the market. So in that spirit, I invite your comments. That said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Earlier I had confided in you about how I have been test running Google's Notebook LM and another text-to-speech AI. I don't remember the name of that website, but it was fantastic. You have heard and seen both these in my channel, and my argument is that use cases are coming into production on a daily basis for AI. Therefore, the fear that AI has not delivered use cases is no longer a risk in my opinion. And if you look carefully, you'll find a lot of use cases that are already deployed and are useful to people like myself. I have found at least two AI use cases that I have already used in this channel. And I'm also using ChatGPT from time to time to improve certain sentence construct where I have problems explaining something with less words. I have tried to use ChatGPT in those places to craft a sentence that is much more efficient and much more concise. So those kind of things are there. And also at times I have used AI to create some graphics. So those kind of things are already in the place. So I think lack of AI use cases should not be considered a risk anymore. But how these companies monetize these use cases is where we need to focus. Now, ChatGPT has been monetized, and there are many people who pay $20 per month to use ChatGPT. And Gemini has also come up with its own paid models. And still we have got free use of AI, which is sufficient to do meaningful stuff on the free. But you should expect that soon that will also become more specialized. And while the paid versions will become much more powerful and deliver more functionality, you will still have good enough functionality with the free AI. I'll draw a parallel to email. The free email option also allows you to send emails. It also has got spell check and stuff like that. But the paid email offers you even more functionality and encourages you to subscribe on a regular basis. Something like that might happen with AI. The LLMs that we are using like ChatGPT and Gemini and those kind of things. In my opinion, Google is way ahead with use cases that are quite polished. This impression comes from using Notebook LM. I see plenty of potential use case with search engines and Google Maps, as well as their mobile OS and Chromebooks. And they might have deployed some already, which we are not even aware of because we are using it seamlessly. So that's the thing with Google. And Notebook LM was very impressive. Those of you who have not heard my podcast, go and check out Quick Bites. Anything on the thumbnail that says Quick Bites has been made using Notebook LM. And what I have done for that is generally I do my research, I read about the things that I want to talk about, try to make sense out of it, and then make a script for myself, which I put on my teleprompter and read out for you. And what I did was I took that script and I gave it to Notebook LM, and Notebook LM created a conversation out of it with two characters, a male and a female character. And I think it did a bang up job. I mean, I was impressed with how well it did it and how quickly it did it. And I didn't have to do much of editing at all. All I had to do was add more B-reels and images wherever possible to keep the podcast interesting. So I'm really impressed with Notebook LM, and I want you guys to test out Notebook LM and put your feedback down here. In my next video, I'll try to give you the name of the text-to-voice AI that I used, which was also very good. It was free. And today I want to look at how NVIDIA is creating a new big ticket customer for itself and ensuring future sales. In my opinion, this is a genius move on the part of NVIDIA. I would like to show you this article in CNBC titled NVIDIA-backed CoreWeave gets 650 million credit line from top Wall Street banks. This article discusses a significant financial move by CoreWeave, a cloud infrastructure company backed by NVIDIA that specializes in renting out graphics processing units primarily to companies involved in AI. To understand the scale of this strategy, consider the following points. And these points are all taken out from the press release that I showed you. So CoreWeave announced that it secured a 650 million credit line, which is expected to help the company expand its business and data centers. This credit facility was provided by several major financial institutions, including Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, and Morgan Stanley, among others. Over the past 18 months, CoreWeave has raised $12.7 billion through a combination of equity and debt, including a $1.1 billion round earlier in 2023 that valued the company at $19 billion. By the end of 2024, CoreWeave aims to operate 28 data centers across the US and internationally, with plans to add data centers in cities like Austin, Chicago, Las Vegas, and London. The company also plans to build another 10 data centers by 2025 to expand its reach. CoreWeave has worked with major AI players such as Microsoft and the French AI startup Mistral, providing them with NVIDIA GPUs they need to run their AI models. The demand for GPUs has soared because building and training AI models is resource intensive and requiring thousands of specialized chips like NVIDIA's. The company reportedly has $2 billion in contracted revenue for 2024, indicating strong demand for its services. And NVIDIA has heavily invested in AI infrastructure startups like CoreWeave. This not only drives demand for NVIDIA's chips, but ensures that NVIDIA's technology gets deployed widely in the AI sector. Of course, they have their CUDA, which kind of creates a moat around its GPUs and creates a sticky factor for developers and end users. CoreWeave's new financing reflects a broader trend where financial institutions and banks are positioning themselves to benefit from the growing AI market, which is expected to generate $1 trillion in revenue by 2023. And CoreWeave's credit line announcement is part of the ongoing rush to support AI infrastructure deployment. This article also briefly mentions that OpenAI recently received a $4 billion revolving line of credit, boosting its liquidity to over $10 billion, further illustrating the trend of large financial moves in the AI space. OpenAI has an option to increase its credit line by an additional $2 billion. I would conclude by saying that AI infrastructure space, particularly the GPU rental market, is seeing rapid growth as companies like CoreWeave expand their capabilities to meet the ever-increasing demand for AI computing power. The involvement of large financial institutions and NVIDIA's investment underline the potential profitability of this sector. We also have the early moving hyperscalers that have bought and continue to buy billions of dollars worth of GPU and are also installing captive power supply and cooling systems for their data center to ensure that they have enough juice to meet their objectives. And the only thing we are all waiting for, in my opinion, is not the use cases, but the monetization of the use cases. We have seen a whole lot of use cases which are very, very useful to end users like myself, and probably guys in the finance sector and other areas as well, also for journalists and blog writers and others. But the monetization is where I think we have to give our focus now, not only directly as products. For example, ChatGPT subscription is a direct monetization of the product. I'm also looking at indirectly monetizing these AI capabilities in established industries by improving the bottom line and margins as well as productivity through deployment of AI, which means existing workers can deliver more and increase the productivity, thereby increasing the margins for the company. and improving the work environment for those workers. And I think we are in the early innings, and in my opinion, the next 5 years will be very exciting to be an investor in this space. And I'm thinking, my friends, that we are witnessing the growth of NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is going to be, I think, a multi-bagger in my opinion. When I say multi-bagger, I mean that it's going to increase its value incrementally, because at the end of the day, we all look at price by earnings. So as earnings keep on increasing, even if the PE multiple remains the same, the price is going to go up because the earnings are higher. And what better sector to be in than in AI sector? And in AI sector, what better company to be in than NVIDIA? Now, there are a few other things also that are going in favor of NVIDIA. Their tie-up with Accenture. This kind of validates my earlier assertion that there will be waves of growth in AI. And one of those waves will be where consulting organizations will start coming in, and they will start consulting end user industries and trying to do a fit gap analysis and advising those companies on where they can use AI in order to improve their productivity and their margins and their bottom line. And I think the precursor to that is the tie-up between Accenture and NVIDIA. So great things are in store for NVIDIA and the AI sector in general. I am personally invested and I'm bullish on NVIDIA. I've got a good portion of my portfolio on NVIDIA. And my plan is to hold on despite the ups and downs, because in the long term, I think it's going to be helpful. Now, I want to briefly look at NVIDIA's price chart before closing this video, because I haven't seen the price chart in a while, and now would be a very good opportunity to look at it in detail. In my daily morning reviews, I don't go into details, so let's do a little bit of a detailed scan of NVIDIA price chart in this video. Here we are in the TradingView platform looking at the NVIDIA price chart. Each of these candles is a one-day candle, and what I see is that we are on a bull channel. And I say that we are on a bull channel mainly because we have not had lower lows. We always had higher lows and higher highs. So we are still on a bull channel, regardless of the rest of the market. The case is very strong for NVIDIA, in my opinion. And we have this line of resistance out here, which came up from this green candle out here before we had the all-time high, and then we dropped very sharply. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to break through this resistance, which happens to be at 135.82. And in my opinion, I think that once we break through this, we are going to test the new all-time high, and our next resistance is going to be 140.85. And when I look at the RSI, I think there is plenty of room for the RSI to go up, because in the past, RSI had been up to 84.98 before turning back. So that is likely to happen. I don't see any bearish divergence anywhere. Everything looks good from that perspective. And also MACD is still bullish, and there is plenty of momentum. So overall, I think there is nothing bad for NVIDIA. It's just that there is a little bit of hesitation here and there because of the feeling that there are not enough monetized use cases. But I think it's in the works. It should come. And the fact that ChatGPT already has paid subscribers, Gemini has got paid subscribers, and also we are seeing specialty AIs which are coming up for writing and for data analysis and all that. So I think that we are almost there, and gradually all of these will start getting monetized, and we'll see revenue coming through there. And also the consulting companies will start working with end user industries, building up the so-called NIMs, which NVIDIA has prepared for each industry. They'll be deploying those NIMs, which will be the starting point, and then there'll be training for those NIMs specific to those companies, so that the AI is specific to those companies and starts improving productivities and delivering to the bottom line. And those things are yet to come. So it's a long-term play, and I think that in the long term, everything looks good. To illustrate that point, let me just take a segue and show you QQQ. So if you look at QQQ, let me go to a monthly chart so that we can look at a larger time frame. I'm just going to recalibrate this chart so that you can see it properly. And so as you can see, over the years, like when I'm on this candle, I'm actually on October 2012. Okay. So from October 2012 to date, I mean, we have had ups and downs, but overall we have been going up, and that's what is likely to happen with the market in the future also. We may go down for a while, but we are eventually going to go back up. That's what I call as long-term investing. I'm a long-term investor for the most part because of my age profile, and I find NVIDIA to be attractive. Now, this is one portion where there was a huge fall. Let me just measure this out. This could be more than a correction. In my opinion, it's around 33%. So we had around a 33% drop between January 22 to January 23. That is the almost 1 year time frame. So that year saw a total drop, and after that it has been an upward movement, and we had lost 33% there, but we more than recovered that 33% out here, because what we recovered here happens to be let me take from this point onwards and go all the way up to here. That's around 23%. So we are not only recovered the 33% we lost, but we gained another 23% on top of that. So the market ultimately keeps on going up, and there are multiple reasons for this. One is inflation. Inflation reduces the value of money, and therefore assets acquire more value because they have to be more money has to be paid to acquire the same asset. The purchasing power of the dollar is going down. That is one aspect. The other aspect is P by E, price by earnings. Now, as earnings go up, the price will also go up with the multiple remaining the same. So overall, I think that's the reason why, as a long-term investor, I would continue to buy NVIDIA and hold NVIDIA. And I'm going to show you the VIX. One of the things that you have to remember is that while all these activities are happening, VIX has creeped up about 20%. So one has to have caution because volatility is going up. So this applies to not only NVIDIA, but all the stocks in the market. We could potentially see a sudden drop. It could happen anytime. I don't think anybody can forecast it, because there are a whole lot of geopolitical issues. You may say, Raj, you are a bear. Yes, I'm bearish at this point of time. I'm generally bullish, but at this point of time, I'm bearish because we have an election that has to happen. And also last time after the election, we had a lot of problems. And this time, we want to make sure that there are no problems and everything settles down. And that is not a given because of what happened in the last election on January 6th. So there's a huge geopolitical risk out there. It can impact the stock market big time. And we have the wars going on in two parts of the world. And of course, all of this can affect the supply chain and rekindle inflation. It can boost the price of oil and create problems of inflation flowing through from oil, because everything needs oil. Transportation flows through to everything, and oil is needed for transportation, energy. Winter is coming, and Europe has got to face buying gas from other sources than Russia. So all these issues are still there in the background. So friends, be cautious. Remember, VIX is quite high. And now coming back to conclusions, I would say that I'm absolutely bullish on NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA is going to be a really good stock to have in the portfolio. Probably it may fund a part of my retirement. So I'm holding on to the NVIDIA that I have. And if I get an opportunity this October, if it falls and my holdings become negative, I would try to dollar cost average NVIDIA. This is my plan. This is my total disclosure. These are my personal opinion and not financial advice. So guys, for you to decide whether you want to invest in NVIDIA or any stock for that matter is going to be to look at your status in life. Are you a young person? Are you married? Do you have children? What is your risk profile? Right? You can't just put money willy-nilly into stocks. It's like gambling. You might as well go to the casino, right? So if you're going to invest in stocks, you got to study those stocks. You have to understand the industry, and you have to track them for a while before actually putting your money. In a year, I may be doing at the most 10 or 15 trades. That's all I do. Most of the time I'm holding stocks or waiting to buy stocks. That's what I do. And this has been much better for me than when I used to trade 2 or 3 times every day. So I'm finding this much better. And if you're a young person, you can take risks, because if you lose money, you can bounce back. But as you grow older, your risk taking ability goes down further, because you may have to send your children to school. You have a spouse who is expecting you to provide stability, and you have a job that you're working on, which you want to stop working, you want to retire. because you don't want to take the headache and do the same thing again and again. There's a bit of lethargy coming up as you keep on working the same job again and again. So you want to retire also. Therefore, your risk-taking ability starts shrinking with age. And if you do not recognize that, then you're in for trouble, because you will end up putting your money in genomic stocks and dicey stocks where you think overnight you're going to become a billionaire because you're going to get 4 times that much. So remember that. And also, those of our viewers who are into genomics and keep asking me what's going to happen with Editas, is Bluebird going to survive, and those kind of questions, I would say that, especially for genomics, the market is not loving genomics right now. The market wants money right now, like Jerry Maguire, it is show me the money time. Okay, and genomics is not showing the money, so there is no love for genomics. And the stocks can go as low as it's possible, and then they could do a reverse split, and then again the stocks can go down. So do not put everything in the kitchen sink into genomics. You just have to be careful. I'm not bearish on genomics. I know that genomics is going to be the next industrial revolution, and it's going to merge with AI, and we'll see fantastic products and services coming out of this, which will help mankind, not only in terms of health, but you may have other kinds of automation which are DNA based, which are married with AI. Those kind of things might happen in future, like androids and things like that. But it's going to take a lot of time, and the long-term investor would be able to put money in a well-researched company and hold it for a long time. Because when you're doing a well-researched investment in a blue chip company, that company has a track record of paying dividends for many, many years. It has a track record of products which are recognized by most people across the world and in the country. And such companies have pricing power because people seek their products. Now, those kind of companies are where a long-term investor can put money and forget about it, and after 10 years it will automatically have multiplied, and the dividends would have been reinvested, and so on and so forth. But those things cannot be said of genomics. Genomics is in a very, very volatile stage right now. It will definitely be successful, but now is not the time for it to be the darling of the stock market. Its time will come, and it will come soon, as soon as we start seeing these companies get FDA approval and monetizing products, which become commonplace. So there's a long way to go for genomics. So friends, it was a very, very long-winded discussion. I just get a bit carried away because I'm talking to you without a script. So let me zero back onto what I started with NVIDIA. So I'm bullish on NVIDIA. I'm invested on NVIDIA. I'll dollar cost average on NVIDIA if it falls in October. And I'm a long-term investor. I would like to hear from you guys what you think about NVIDIA, and also what you think about the genomics sector, and put it all in the comment section. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Because I'm also looking forward to your feedback. And now, just for fun, I want to use the same information that I have for this video. I'm going to feed that to Notebook LLM, and I'll immediately release another video which will be the same thing, but it will be through a Notebook LLM, and I want you to look at that and compare my delivery with what Notebook LLM has done, and give me feedback and let me know whether you're impressed or not with Notebook LLM and its capabilities. With that, my friends, bye for now. Have a great happy Thanksgiving to all those Canadians who are celebrating Thanksgiving weekend. Well, friends, we'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.